Okay, thank you. So our discussion today, we will talk and also we will discuss about the science behind blockchains. Yeah. So in the previous discussion, we already discussed a lot, yeah, about the blockchain in the concept, and then secondly, it's about the technology that deliver the blockchains. Yeah. So in this stage, I would like to go to the fundamental things about blockchains. Yeah, we talk about the science behind blockchains or blockchain as science. Yeah. So why we discuss about it? The reason is very, I think, is very fundamental because currently we already and maybe community or people around the world maybe understand and know about the blockchain in the term of the applications, yeah. And then also about the blockchain as, like, as a Bitcoin and so on. Yeah, that's not wrong, but I think uh, to strengthening the understanding about it, I think especially us in the computer science need to understand about the blockchain as science, yeah. And secondly, it's very important to if we have a new technologies or maybe a new advanced issue in our zone. I think before we go too far in the application or in the implementation stage, we need to back further to see and then to understand about the science behind that phenomenon. Yeah. So I think that also where we discuss about it is because we we need also to to this is like the implementation of our learning in the philosophy of computer science. Yeah. So everything that we learn about, for example, blockchain today, I think we also need to understand about the point of view of realism and also non-realisms, and we also open wide of our mind that the blockchain is not only just technology, but something that's still growth and also still under development. So I think a lot of opportunity that we can learn from these processes. Yeah. So I think it's also the third reason is I think this my subjective, yeah, but I think that it will be a good learn and also good experience that we join the and watch and also monitor and also learn about the development of the new technology that's still under development. So I think so we not only just learn something that already exists here, but we learn that something still grows. So in that point, I think it would be very great. We have the opportunity to see the science that still growth and in the middle of the controversies, in the middle of the some of the maybe consequences and also the potential that maybe we can get from that this blockchain issue. Yeah. So for today, once again, so I would like to focus on the science of behind the blockchains. Yeah. So I think we after we understand about it, next week we will discuss more deep about the component of the blockchain and then understand why in the blockchain we have a smart contract as consensus, where we have some big block ledger system and that capture all the data, and also why in the blockchain we found a lot of advanced cryptography that used in the blockchains. Yeah. So I think this is the blockchain's perspective on the science. Yeah. So I think the blockchains, although blockchain technology is still evolving, yeah, as evolution in the evolution processes, it already offer many advantages to the scientific community. Yeah. So I think yeah, the blockchain give the opportunity for us to get the information, the new information about why we need the consensus here. For example, why we need a smart contract, why we using decentralized system. Yeah. So I think it's also impact, especially for me. For example, I'm the person that working on the data center and so on. So, and the principle is all the system, all the data information, it should be on the place, yeah, or will be centralized. But But after the coming of the blockchains, I think we rethink a bit, rethinking again that it should be not always in the centralized system, yeah, or in on the one place, yeah. But we can use the decentralized system, and then the centralized system is also good enough for something that secure, and also everyone will have some same position to control the data and also information. So I think I agree that blockchain is revolutionizing the world. Yeah, this is, we can see that many countries that try to, you know, in adaptive way, welcoming the blockchain and then use for them. Yeah, but unfortunately, in the several country, they still reject and also still not allow the blockchain as one of technology. I think we not talk about the modern countries in the, maybe in Singapore, or maybe in Qatar, or maybe in Europe and so on. But I think we take a look in Indonesia. I think blockchain still a lot of controversies here. So I think we still on the very beginning, early adapters, I think. Yeah. So we still discuss about blockchain in the course, yeah, in the seminar, in the webinar, and so on. But we not see the implementation in the massive, and also in the, in the very implementable things. Yeah, but we understand that the industries, and maybe in several parties that will use the blockchain still need time, yeah, to adapt, and also to understand how the blockchain will change on the aspect. One of the reason why a blockchain is very slow, especially Indonesia, is likely slow to adapt, not like big data, or maybe Internet of Things, or artificial intelligence that very fast adapt in Indonesia. But the blockchain is very very slow because of the consequences behind the blockchains. Yeah, so I think that will change the landscape of technology. Yeah, especially in the implementation in the industries. Yeah. So, but unfortunately, in the future, I think the rapid growth in investment will encompass many different industries, and blockchain will become a mainstream of technology. Yeah, still we have this belief here. So I think just a matter of time, I think. Yeah. So it will be the blockchain will be growth. So I think based on this perspective, we agree that based on the science, it should be blockchain, not should be rejected. Yeah. So I think so that's why when I discussed to our program about the new curriculums, I propose a blockchain as one of the course in our program. Yeah. Even I think several lecturer or researcher still have a big question about why we add the blockchain course in our program. I think their point of view is still on the applications. Yeah. So, but when I try to present and understand about the structure of the course, that want to more deep discuss about the science, technology, and also how it will be changing the landscape of technology. I think they agree to add these courses here. Even only one course here, but it's still on the introduction of the blockchains here. So I think it will be good enough in the future. Maybe it will be major mainstream in one of our research laboratory. In case like in SKC or something, I think we will come to develop this mainstream. And of course, to develop the mainstream, we need to exercise and also to do some preliminary research in our own to ensure that the track on the mainstream that we want to build is acceptable and work for from the research and also from the industry later. Yeah. So that's I think that good enough. And yeah, I think one of my reason also is I try to initiate the blockchain as one of the research. Yeah, especially for a single data, single truth of data issue. So yeah, hopefully the proposal will be accepted, and then I can recruit or maybe give the opportunity to students to join to my research. This will be welcome. Yeah. Okay, so that's the science. So why science is very important when we discuss the blockchain things here. So I think technological advancement in engineering and computer science will give us new opportunity in many industries here, which is manufacturing, energy sector, and other related field here. So in this case, we can see that all the industries that involving the very deep structure of data information, for example, and also the deep structure on the technology landscape will impact by the technological advancement, yeah, especially in engineering and also computer science. With me. So based on this, I think this case, I think we can see that uh, we can see that the industry in the manufacturing or energy sector, they need have a support from the technological implementation that very advanced level, especially industries, and also in the science approach here. They need a new approach on the handling the issue that may be occur in their business processes. So I think this two approach here, using the engineering and also computer science, will be help them to become advanced manufacturing, yeah, or advanced industries. So I think maybe I can give you some information because I work close with the energy sector, especially in oil and gas. And this year I work in the coal mining industries, for example. They have a two question. The technology that they already deploy for their industries for the current operation is very is already implemented maybe 30 or 50 years here. So the technology is very strong foundation on the development. So that's why it can implement in many decades. Yeah. But another approach, yeah, when they want to for example, they collect the data from the ground, and then they collect from the offshore, for example, and then they collect the data, and then they have difficulties to analyze how the data from the field, and then they can do some analysis to find out the potential of the oil in the futures in one place, in one position, for example. So that's why they're interesting to use some of the advanced technology, which is artificial intelligence to, for example, to predict the commodity inside their area, for example. And because a lot of data, they have difficulties to how to ensure that the data came from the field is identified as qualified data. So in that case, they doesn't only use a database management, big database management system to handle that system. They also need a new approach here. So if they only depend on the one of the for example, primary key or something on the databases, I think it can be duplicated. It can be something wrong. But when they see a blockchain, I think they rethink again, and then, oh, this is, I think, it's good potential to implement on our industries. So now they try to enter this issue to find the good way how the blockchains can implement to them. Yeah. So I think that also one of the general question on them. Yeah. But maybe later I will give you some example, the detail or very specific issue when why they need the blockchain to them. Yeah. So, and then the next is this push us to deduce the following talk. Yeah. Will science in general be changed by blockchain technology? So I think this is the fear of the scientists, that they learn about blockchain because they're afraid that the science will be changing. Yeah. So, but I think when we learn about the computer science or science philosophy, I think it doesn't matter here. It should be science. It should be change. Yeah, according to the development of the universe. So I think when we have the blockchain and then it will be impact on the science itself, I think it doesn't matter. Yeah. But the most important is, if yes, what the opportunities, yeah, what the opportunities that we can get, yeah, and the prospect of implementation, yeah, and also the potential problem should be expect from it, yeah. So I think based on this question, I think the blockchain will be have a challenge, a science to develop, yeah, in every step, yeah. So that would be the important things. Yeah, as revolutionary opportunities, I think blockchain for science, it's very important point in here. Yeah, the blockchain technology is versatile. I think. Yeah. So I think we agree with that. But therefore, the world data has system work for every transaction involving value, whether it's money, goods, or information. Yeah. So it's mean in here that we can see that the place of blockchains in here is related with the data has and previous has, yeah, system, yeah, that working with every transaction. So so that also the logical thinking on the why blockchain is called as ledger technology, big ledger technologies, yeah, because in every transaction that involving value, whatever is money, good information, they will the blockchain will be give the data has and also previous has identification or system in there, yeah. And beside the high level of security and fraud protection, as every transaction is recorded and distributed among the computer networks. So this is like it's also if give the revolutionary approach on the computer network system, I think, because in every transaction which is logged or something else, it will be distributed among the computer networks. Yeah. I think you still remember that in the computer network, every log, every transaction on the network, it should be keep the data in the log server, yeah, in the routers, yeah. But in place, it will be distributed among the computer network. So it's mean all the network, all the parties that involved in the network, we have the opportunity to have the data. And as a result, this feature of the blockchain technology offers the following opportunity that can revolutionize science in different aspects. Yeah. So you can see, I think the good things is like maybe you're familiar with the Kaggle dataset, yeah, that give the facilities or opportunity for us to use the data from around the world, yeah, as dataset from many researchers, and then we can use for our own research, yeah. And then we also give the credit for them and then use them for reference, for example. Yeah, so I think that's one of the example how the blockchain will be impact. Yeah, so I think the concept of the open science will be occur and then will be pushed by the blockchains. We can have we can release a lot of data set here, and then we can use the blockchain to give the track or give the trial that the data set that we already released is in the good in the very verified verified version of the data set. Yeah, so it's mean if we can use this data set, it will guarantee that the data set is good. It's good one. That's for the example. So that will be the point that why blockchain for science is very interesting point to discuss. Yeah. So based on this one, I think we can design and also we can imagine that okay, if the blockchain the work of blockchain is like something like this, that involving in every transaction, and then every transaction will be recorded and the record will be distributed among the computer networks, and then and give the some different point of view how we use the blockchain itself. So in that point, I think it can give some new landscape, yeah, and the new landscape of the technology approach, yeah. So I think when we learn about computers that we build algorithms, I think the algorithm, it will be changed also, because the algorithm will be handle every transaction, and then and algorithm will be execute and record all the data, and then the algorithm is also work to distribute the record among the computer networks. Yeah, so that I think that will be also push the new the new algorithm that we can use for these blockchains. Yeah, and blockchain science will be make develop research transparencies. Yeah, I think that will be very good enough. Yeah. So what the mean of the research transparency is like something like this one. The issue is like, okay, we can access all the result of the research from researchers around the world. Yeah, freely in IEEE, in GOAG, for example, and also in the Scopus and so on. But all the research is only a research report. I think. Yeah, we only have for example 6 or 7 pages that describe not in detail. I think. Yeah, it's just like a report. So we can learn from other research. Yeah, and if the research is good, I think we can see the methodologies, what they do, what the test that they do, and then what the result and what the insight. But sometimes we also see that the paper is not very transparent. Yeah, so we 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 not know about anything about it, and then we need to contact the authors to ask about something in the papers there. So that's why I see that several publishers, especially in the P1 publisher, they now ask in mandatory the data set that we use, and also the method or source code that we use in the paper. So why it's used? Because they need to have the evidence of the research. Yeah. So if they accept the publication, and application is published in the journal, and the publisher will have some data and information that the research is transparent in the data set and also in the methodologies. So the transparency of the research, I think, is one of the impact why from the blockchains. Yeah, because the blockchains, you already know that it's distributed among the node in the computer networks. All the data will be recorded. Yeah, it's mean all the crude of the data and also the process will be recorded. Yeah, so that's why we can use the blockchain as transparent things. Yeah, in here. So in here that we highlight a set of blocks that contain data is shared in one network of parties or node, yeah, which have equal and immutable access to the data carried by the block. Yeah. So that means, yeah, you know the share function and then the equal position between the node, I think will be implemented in the blockchain. Yeah. So that's why the research should be transparent. So this is like the example why is we need a transparency on the research here. Let's say a group of researchers is working on statistical analysis of a certain business venture, yeah, and then they collect the data, and the data will be and stored in the blocks, yeah, and those creating a data carrying blockchain for this research, yeah. Any change, for example, the data is already on the block, yeah, and then any change that made by the member of the group research to this data will not go unnoticed, yeah, as every researcher from the team can equally spot and track this change. Yeah. It is like I have one Google Drive or document on the Google Drive, and then I invite you to be the editors, and we work together, and we can see, we can track all the change. Yeah. So this is like we creating a lot of the transaction who access the data, and then who try to modify the data, who will use the data, and so on. So in this case, scientific research is very deficient state here, and blockchain give an opportunity to change as it ensure reproducibility that is central for transparent scientific research here. So that will be the nice one. So I think it's also happen now in our laboratory, especially in the computer system and network laboratory. We this semester we try to produce a platform for dataset, research dataset that it can use for researchers or lecture and also student that we want to store the dataset and also reuse the dataset from other previous researcher, for example. So we will try to track and then we build some system that can record all the the use of the data, and we try to record it and we try to implement the blockchains behind that open data platform. So that will be our scenario. So hopefully next years we can develop the blockchains, the next semester, but this semester we will focus on the open data platform first. And then this is also why the blockchain as science is very important, is because making the data storage safer. As you know, blockchain is designed in a way that ensures safe storage of any data that every block contains. So it's mean that the data that already safe in the block will be have some insurance that it will be safe stored on the data. And hashes, which work as protection device for the data, is hard to tamper, and thus keeping all research data safely stored. So very important. This is like so you can hear the point that we use the hashes is for protection, on especially on the device for the data. And essentially, blockchain is decentralized database of information. You can see here, decentralized database of information. It is decentralized because every node has full access to the data and any change that have been made. This include any change made involving the hashes of every blocks, and make it possible to leak the information or corrupt it. So that would be also the nice one, why we can use the blockchain and why decentralized system is very very strong, for especially to make sure there is no leak of information or corrupt it. And blockchain technology also ensure an extra level of protection, as all the data is broken into segments or shared, which are encrypted. Thus, any classified research data can be safely stored in the block, accessed and tracked by every node in the network. So it's mean without, we're not very depend on the central nodes. For example, like my research that work on the data center, I'm very depend on my server in the lab. It should be work every minute. But if the server is down, of course my research will be stopped. And then I need to recover the server first, and then I have opportunity to to continue my research. So that would be the problem. So if in here, even my node or maybe the second node is down, I still use my another node that connected to the network to use the data. So because the data is not in the centralized in the central storage here, but it will be placed in every node, and then we use the block. So that's why it's very that's why it's safe. The safe in here is not just only from the thief or maybe from some something that maybe like they stole the information, but because we try to distribute all the information, so it's mean the data is everywhere. So automatically we have the our own pickup instantly. So that will be also why it's making storage safer. And then this is like making science transparent. This is we already discussed previously. This is like blockchain technology brings an opportunity to make the decision and the activity of scientific organization more transparent, and by introducing smart contract. So that also is good enough. It is like a term of reference that we define together as our main smart contract of business processes. And the distributed ledger technologies is enable blockchain to store small computers program that track the data. So smart contracts are created in the form of computer program and are designed to cut the middleman in all data transaction. Yeah, so we doesn't need the middleman. Yeah. Instead, the smart contract becomes the middleman, and all the activity can be traced by the network of nodes. Yeah. So in here's that in the distributed ledger technology, the essential point is the middleman. Yeah. The middleman, it will be the program or function that automatically can trace all the network activities. Yeah. So and the middleman will be independent, and then it will be worked by their own, and then will be informed on the transaction in the pure way. There is no manipulation in there. There is no any interest in there. So that's why we can see the transparency on that. So I think based on this blockchain, I think we also can learn that maybe the problem on the illegal transaction like corruption or something, actually we can use the strategy of like this middleman on the blockchains. Yeah, we need like intermediary parties that's very have integrity and also can give the information in the transparent way, so we can track on the transaction it is illegal or not. Yeah, it should be like that. Yeah, it should be like in the central bank, or maybe like in the OJK, or maybe in the PPATK or something actually. Yeah. But unfortunately, the function of the independent middleman is not work today. Yeah, so it's very yeah. It should be we can push the blockchain for this one. In Finland, for example, there is any this one of the research that use the blockchain to minimize and then to avoid the corruption in the government. So all the transactions will be traced by the blockchains and then reported to the corruption agencies. If they found something, they will do some action from that, from this report in the middleman. And so the two main features that science and scientific research on the blockchain is immutable. Yeah, it's once a smart contract is created, it can never be changed again. Yeah, let's say that a scientific organization start a smart contract with a governmental funding organization. So scientific organization often struggle to get fund because of bureaucracy and frozen fund. Yeah, so something like that. So this is like immutable. And then also the second is distributed. And the mean that the output of smart contract is validated by all the nodes. Yeah, yeah, you can see this one. It's validated by all the nodes that involving in the node in the network. A single node cannot force the contract to release the fund or terminate it because other people in the network will spot this attempt and mark this action as invalid. Yeah, so it's that's mean of the smart contract. So everyone will watch, everyone will monitor, and everyone will be accept and validated the transaction, and that it can be executed. If there is only if there any one node that not agree with that, so I mean the transaction will be cannot be executed. Yeah, so that will be the important point. So I think these two headlight make the blockchain is promising. Yeah, and so in here, blockchain for a science and for science have a prospect implementation. Yeah, decentralized blockchain-based data storage is also one of the form of the new architecture of the data storage that we need to develop. Yeah, so I think like us in computer science also will be impacted like the database management system course. Yeah, it will be unrelevant again. Yeah, because of this case. Yeah, because we need a blockchain-based data storage in here. And decentralized cloud started emerging recently, becoming strong competitor and potential threat to centralized server, such as Google, Dropbox, and others. Yeah, yeah. Using decentralized cloud storage use blockchain technology, we can have ensure the security and also give some warranty on the transparency. Yeah. So that also one of the important point that why we use using the blockchains. Yeah. So beside that, we also have a challenge. Yeah. Yeah. So a science, I think blockchain is also have some issue on the challenge. Yeah. So the first challenge is like prevention of file loss. Yeah. through redundancy in data. Yeah. So I think we agree that's one, because if we have the loss of the data, I think we have a lot of opportunity. Yeah. So that also will be disaster. Extensive scientific research means collecting and storing a lot of data. Naturally, some of data can go missing or get deleted by mistakes, for example. And the blockchain technology used in decentralized cloud prevent this from happening. And as all the data is stored in many copies in the every node, yeah. So that will be the important point. And the next is reduce cost. Yeah, scientific organization often have tightened the belt and cut expand due to limited funds. Yeah, I think that also one of the issue today. Yeah, if we're doing, especially in Indonesia, I think we not only just very limited fund. Yeah, but we need to do our research by our own. Yeah, so that's why if we want to research using high-end technology that use some high-end services, I think the fund will be not enough. Yeah. So that's why if we can build our own in our environment, I think that will be a good opportunity to reduce the cost. Yeah. And high speed. Yeah. So I think the high speed is mean like we still face that the blockchain need the high speed connectivity to work well. Yeah. So that's make the the blockchain is it's not very easy to implement. Yeah. So we also have the obstacle, I think, beside the challenge that we already discussed. The first is about the authorization issue. Yeah. And the goal of blockchain technology is to encrypt and safely store the data and establish consensus in the distributed network. Yeah. So it's mean like more democratized in the data. To prove that a network member has permission to write a certain change. Yeah, so it is required to run complex algorithm that will ensure rightful authorization. Yeah, so that is the the issue that came from the authorization, because all the node can have permission to write and to access the change and require to run complex algorithm. Yeah, but unfortunately, if we have a lot of massive node, so of course it should be supported by rightful authorization. And such algorithm takes immense amount of computing powers, which come at cost. Yeah, so that's why you can see in China, in many countries, that they have Bitcoin mining facilities. They have huge costs for divining and then develop the node. Yeah, that they use for mining processes. And the second is lack of legislation. Yeah, I think it's happened in all countries. Yeah, jurisdiction issue. Yeah, blockchain technology is not limited by jurisdictional boundaries. Yeah, so I think blockchain is implement cross boundaries countries. So it become bigger and make some countries not agree, because it's something that like uncontrollable by the nation. So this is like, yeah, we have a lack of regulation, any litigation, and also the common law and common regulation that exists today. And then the second is the intellectual property. In case blockchain vendor, yeah, decide to commercialize the underlying data set, this also will have some issue on the intellectual property and data safety. So I think the appropriate one is we declare to existing the the open data set. Yeah, so I think it doesn't matters. Yeah, and then data privacy. Yeah, this is like same data safety, and then blockchain technology presents some privacy related issue. In case one block contain private data, the question is how the data can remain private if several other network node have access to it. Yeah, so I think it's also some the issue. I think the third issue still under development now. I found several paper that discuss about it. Yeah, how to resolve this issue. So the chain will have some flag or tag about the privacy level, and then so that's why we develop some new approach or algorithm that every node that want to access that privacy node we need to ask the permission and so on. So I think it can be also, yeah. So even I believe there is another approach to solve this data privacy. And of course, potential hacker attacks, yeah. Blockchain is considered one of the secure technology in the world. There is possibility that blockchain can be hacked. Yeah. I think we agree that one. It's already happened in the Coinbase and Ethereum Classic when hacker gain control of more than half of the network computing power. Yeah, this is already discussed in the MIT Technology Review. Yeah. Yeah, of course, lack of protocol security because it's still under development. Yeah, bugs, human error, it potentially happen. But the best solution to ensure security, blockchain technology is from being perfect. Yeah, before switching from a centralized server to centralized cloud storage, we need to understand that although the change of research information getting hacked are lower, but it's still possible. Yeah, so I think we agree that one, and then as scientists, we also agree that it give us opportunity also to research on these matters. Yeah. Of course, the blockchain will be bring the new potential to science. Yeah, a part of some issue, blockchain technology bring a variety of benefit to scientific community, and every researcher know that effective communication, transparency, and data security are crucial for high quality research. Yeah. So I think based on this closing statement, we believe that blockchain give opportunity for us to support high quality research productions, yeah, in the futures. Yeah. So this material is you can use this reference as sources, and I also have another resources that maybe I want to show it to you, and then you can learn from it. Yeah, and the first is this one, blockchain for science. It's also good enough if you want to check this one, and uh, I also joined for this initiative. What the project now already run is we try to write down our you know our argument and also our explanation about the blockchain for science and knowledge creation in one living document that everyone can can track the change. Yeah, you can see in here. So I think if you have time, you can see. And we're still on the work, so it is like we try to build our own version of the blockchains. Yeah, so I think that will be good enough. It's also the implementation how we use the blockchains concept, yeah, into collaborative work. We can add some introduction in here, we can add some note in here, and everyone we will have some some comment, and all the activity will be tracked, yeah, based on this one. So later on I will I will give you some some presentation about what we try to write in this living documents. But if you like to see, you can access the blockchainforscience.com. That's good enough, yeah. And the link is also I already added to the ELOC, so you can directly access from there, yeah. So this is like how we place the blockchains for science. Yes, it's not for commodity only, yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's from me about our my update for the blockchains for science, yeah, and the science behind the blockchains. So hopefully when you see this presentation and also the explanation, you get the point, and then you can have some point of view what exactly blockchains in our in a good point of view. Yeah, it's not only just about something that we can sell and then we can only do some develop some application and so on, but we need to see that the blockchain is not only just like it's not only just applications, yeah, but more than that, it's just like initiative for science and make science more, become better, and we can produce high quality science using using this 3 point. Yeah, this is the effective communication, transparency, and also data security. So that's the important point of this meeting. Yeah. Okay, that's it from me. I will stop the record first.